Have you figured out your niche? Are you helping adding value to other people's lives? Then you're in the right place. Welcome to Munira's Musings with your host, Munira Zahabi.
All right. Greetings from Chicagoland. This is Munira. How are you? Welcome to Munira's Musings with another episode with another guest. Here we talk about different things and how you can get to your niches. And our guest today is Sam Dossa, all the way from Birmingham, UK. But he is a well traveled person because right now he lives in Birmingham, but he is originally from Pakistan, right? So, Sam, welcome to our show. Thank you so much.
Pleasure is all mine, Munira, for inviting me.
You are most welcome. So, what we do on this show, viewers, is that we talk about niches and we talk about how you found your calling in life because I am the niche navigator and I help people find their calling. And many times I find that people have cold feet or are not confident enough to figure out what their calling is and they leave this world without taking that first step to taking the first step to confidence and to their dreams, and that's a sad thing. So here we are here to boost everybody and say, you know what, it's never too late to start your own dream. Let's create what you want to create by listening to other people's trials and tribulations. So
Absolutely.
welcome, Sam. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So my journey begins, I was born and brought up in Pakistan. And then I left in 1996 to join my first wife in London. So that's where my journey begins in the UK. And since then, I was started my journey as a IT professional. As all our brother and sister who are Asian just dive into IT, information technology. But background was that before I left the country, I was doing my business in IT in the UK, in Pakistan. So transition wise, it was good that I was more caliber from the rest of the world because we already using different technology back in Pakistan, which was not introduced in the UK. So I was in the upper side of it. So even though the journey begins was not what you call it very easy, when you come to a new country, it's all about how you find your feet on the ground and how you connect with people. It was like at that time when I came was quite a racial motive of people to put people down. I have encountered racial abuse on the train or on the buses, but that's part of life. I think, I guess, when we live in the society, which is a very diverse and multicultural, and people, everybody is trying to overcome the side of racism and everything. But journey moves on, and I found my area of expertise in IT, and then journey begins from there. I'm now a proud father of three girls. My older daughter is 20 years old. She's doing her second year in medical school. And I've got a set of twins who just celebrated their birthday on the 6th of February. And
Ah,
I got two stepdaughters. One is going to be 17 on the 26th of February, and another one is 13 years old. So I'm surrounded by women.
that's not a bad thing. It's
That's
not.
not a bad thing. No, no. So my journey, Jewel, from IT to coaching is because I've always been in a part of community serving youth, serving seniors, and that begin as a journey of supporting others in terms of their career transition or their jobs, CV writing or resume. My background is careers coaching, counseling, psychometric assessment, business coaching, web designing, developing. So there are a lot of strand to my career in my life, and that helps me to see things in a different perspective of life. So right now, in this present moment with the COVID, what has happened, I've been blessed with helping people with designing online stores for them, and also coaching people around the globe. Um, so that's what I am right now, and I'm very humble about.
That's great. So you sent in your bio that you had shared knowledge with 8,000 students.
Yes,
Are these young adults, old adults?
they were young adults. They were young adults in the school and university. So it's the journey begins from the youth sector, where I used to go into school and deliver workshops and deliver CV writing workshop and interview skills, and that's where the journey all begins within the community as well. I have been teaching within the schooling, within the society. So I think that's also helped me to grow and support a lot of youth and children who used to be 8 years old when I was teaching them. Now they are 16 or 18 years old. They still call me and say, "Sir, how are you?" And they respect me because there was a journey. I was there for them, and so I've been teaching within the youth sector and coaching and training, and then moved into a corporate ladder where I started teaching locally as well as internationally.
So, what started you to work in youth centers and just go volunteer and do that stuff? I mean, you were good in IT when you came, right? And I'm sure you, as an immigrant, have a lot of stories because I am an immigrant here in the United States, and I have blunders that I've done, which is sometimes enough to have a captured audience on that. But so we could have a show on that, what we immigrants have to go through. But when you started this and you're very serious, you started going into volunteering. Why did you start doing that?
Volunteering is not new to me because it's new to me here in the UK. I've been doing volunteer services back home in Pakistan as well. It was in the scouts, within the society, within the mosque and everything. We used to do a lot of volunteer service for seniors and for youth as well. So it was part of it's built in our journey since our childhood. My father was a leader in the community, so looking at him, and then my grandmother was in the community doing a lot of work, so looking at her, it's as an inspiration to serve others. But one thing I learned during this whole journey, one has to love himself or herself first. Yeah, it's been in the scripture that we should support others, but if you are not looking after yourself, how are you going to be strong enough to support others? That was a journey which I learned in 2007 onwards, because I was giving to the society, to my partner, to everybody else, but was not looking after myself. My health was deteriorating. I was not very emotionally present, making a lot of mistakes in terms of not looking after my health, plus not looking after the relationship and everything. So there were two episodes happened during this period, which actually giving me this understanding that Sam, wake up. Now is the time to wake up. If you're not going to wake up, you're going to drown yourself. So 2007 onwards has a different journey started with me, but 2005 was the wake up call for me, and that's where everything started to shift. And I taken responsibility of myself, because if you don't take a responsibility of yourself, nobody will. Nobody will. You can say,
Love.
yeah, I can solve everybody's problem. Yeah, that's what we have been told. You can, somebody says to you, oh, I have a problem, Munira, and you say, yeah, sure, I can help you with that. But if you are going through with your own uncertainty, even though you're trying to say, yeah, I can help you, you're helping them. But back of the mind, you says, I'm suffering with a lot of problems. Who is going to help me? We
That's
are
true.
not going there. We are not going there, because we just have a big smile, and you can say, yeah, I can help you. It's not a problem. And I learned this thing. Somebody says to me, Sam, how are you doing? Sam says, not right. So there is an option for you to open up with others. Trust, build your trust and start opening up. I was sitting in a bus and somebody started chatting with me, telling the whole story to me. about his journey, and I just listened. I did not interrupt it. I just listened, and that guy got up and left. He just wanted somebody to listen, and that's the piece where is missing within our life with our siblings. We do not listen. We become men become fixers. We are fixers, as you know. We are fixers. We fix everything.
No, so you brought in a very good point because, like you said, right, I have gone through a journey and I lost my husband a year ago. And he was the same way. He would run from one job to another because he was a HVAC guy. And every time this person's freezer is down or something is down, he had to be there. And he would kill himself and not take care of himself, and it really ended bad. But the thing is, you said it in very, very eloquent words that you have to take care of yourself. That is something you just have to, and it's amazing that people don't.
No, no. You learn very hard way because universe shows you a lot of signs. Being on the hard transformational journey myself, and I also do transformation healing for a lot of people around the globe. And because we are connected to a energy field, while you're sitting in Chicago, when you feel unsettled, if I'm working with you, I will feel your energy. And I can tell you, Munira, what's going on? Why you are so upset? I can hear you in your voice. And we can communicate on that basis, and I can start doing some healing for you. And that journey also helped me to listen to the universe signs. Your body tells you a lot of things, and we ignore a lot of things
Yeah.
until your body will push you down on the floor, and then you says, "What has happened now?" And then you realize,
You are right. So the journey of giving begins with yourself. That's what you're saying. So you
yes,
give yourself, and then go help others, because you can't, like John Maxwell, who is my mentor, he says you can't give what you don't have, right? And it's so perfect in this case.
yes,
So and so I love the fact that you said that, um, you started giving and you started helping because it was in your nature. When did it turn into, okay, not IT based, but let's go help people with CVs? I mean, when did you become an expert in that? I mean, what did you see that was lacking in other people's lives?
I saw a lot of people were suffering with emotional uncertainty. Yeah, because emotions are those things which will suppress in your system. You keep your emotion inside, men especially. We have been told to be men. We have been told not to show your vulnerability. You are not supposed to show your emotions like crying, like being sad. We have been given in the society, men hold the key to all the success. That's wrong. That's completely wrong. We are human. Men are human too. And what we do is we suppress everything. You come to home and your wife says, "How are you doing?" "I'm doing fine." That's perfectly okay. I just need my time in my cave. Let me just watch the TV and just let's have a drink or something, tea or coffee or whatever your choice of drink is. But don't disturb me. I'm very very tired now. Even though it's not tiredness, it's the demand of the society that you need to show your stamp. My father was always a father. My father was like a breadwinner, and that has been seeped into my head. I need to be a breadwinner, but that's not right. You want to have your own business, but you are being told you need to be slave for somebody else. And that's shifted everything in me and says, why I have to be slave for others? I can do my own business. I can have my own freedom. I can run my own self to a next level. And that's where it started to shifting in me and started to working on myself, started to become myself being stronger. And that's where the journey begins with me and says, wow, so many people are going through with the same sort of uncertainty in their life. Are they ready to change, or are they being shackled down by the society? And you see that that statement in my speech and everything. I said we are born to win, but conditioned to fail.
Yes, yes, I see that. And that's so wonderful because, we never see it that way, right? And you're right. As the niche navigator, I see people who never take the first step because they are so conditioned. And I was telling somebody else the other day that I was,
Quiet, shut up.
oh, is that a dog? It's okay. So I was watching my 4-year-old granddaughter who was trying to get to the light switch, and she jumped several times, and she's very close to the stairs. And her brother is smarter. He went to the bathroom, got a step stool, came back, stood on the step stool, switched on the light, took it back to the bathroom. But she didn't want to do that. That was extra work for her. So she killed herself by jumping. And then what happened was her mother came in the room and says, "You're going to fall and you're going to hurt yourself." And that's when that fear was infused, right? And that's what you're talking about, the condition to fail, because now we are conditioning this child not to take risks, and that's what happens. And it's so amazing that you're saying this right now. Thank you so much for putting it in perspective. But that's what we do. We see children who take risks and we say, "You're going to fall. What happens if you fall?" Well, let them fall first. We'll figure that out later, right? And I think our generation, or whatever generation you come to, especially the East Indians, we were never pushed to take risks. We were never done. We were never asked to do that. And I see that the Western culture, they just take risks. What I see here is that when a child turns 18, get out of my house, you are an adult, go live your life. And this child has no clue what to do, but in the East culture, will still hold them close to the bosom and say, "No, you're still my child. It's okay to stay there." So when do we cut the ties, and when do we may push them out and say to these people that, it's time, go make your own life? When do we not condition them?
Well, conditioning, what happened is the parents has to uncondition themselves first. Children is not about the children. Children have already got their wings to fly whenever they want to. But the condition is also done on the parents. The conditioning is unconditioned, needs to be done on the parents to uncondition the children. Children now want to fly. My daughters are like, my daughter went to university. We started her to go to by bus to school when she was about 10 years old. Yeah. Not every mother does that. Not every parent does it because they say, no, no, I want to safeguard my children to go to school, drop them, make sure they are in the school compound, and then go from there. It's not every, this is conditioning done in the parents as well. This needs to be done unconditioned the parents as well. And a lot of things is done by the society to us. And this is why, because we read negativity. If you start a channel on TV where it says everything is going to be positive about life and everything, you tell me how many subscriber you will get to that channel.
Lot.
And yeah, and how many subscriber you will get where you will see there is a news about somebody has been killed, somebody has been stabbed, somebody. There is two different type of people who wants to watch those things. We are being conditioned to watch those things which are juicy, which has some sort of a juice in there. Who has a robbery done here? Who have this? COVID-19 has created so many mysteries and so many stories and everything. We are interested in those sort of things. If somebody comes with a message saying that, you do not have to take a vaccination if you just go with this, and people say, well, we don't believe you. It's not in the media properly. We don't believe you because we don't trust you. But what we hear, the negativity side of it, that's more juicy. We might be interested in that. So that's what I'm saying. We have been conditioned with a lot of things. And that's when we need started to uncondition ourselves. Our children are very, very good in thinking outside the box instead of the parents. Because they are being taught critical thinking. I was not being taught critical thinking. I was being told, listen to your mom, listen to your dad. And what my dad used to say to me or what my mom used to say, I say, yes, that's right. Even though you are grown up, 18 years old, 20 years old, you're still going back to your mom and dad asking those questions. When I came to this country, I was like a, I was like a complete new slate. You come to this country and you say, oh, okay, now I have to pay the bills. Okay, I have to pay the mortgage. Oh, I never used to do those sort of things because I was not being taught by mom and dad, because everything was my salary comes to me and I handed over my salary to my mom and dad. And they will say, oh, this is your pocket money. Thank you very much. You enjoy your pocket money. You enjoy the rest of the salary. I was not being told how to pay the bills, how to do those sort of things. But you learn with your own mistakes, a lot of things. Yeah. And this is all conditioning. I have to uncondition myself to start learning a lot of things which I never used to. I never used to cook because my mom was feeding me.
Yes,
I
yes.
came here. I came here. I started cooking, and I enjoyed it. I says, "Wow, is this a something amazing thing?" And I used to tell my children, "Get out of the kitchen because this is my time. I enjoy cooking food and everything. You enjoy eating my food." And that's what I learned about myself. A lot of things which I never knew. So this is again a good journey. We all going into a sort of a uncertainty in our life, and we started to think the big question is, who am I? Why I'm here? What is my purpose? As you said when you start your podcast, your journey, you says, oh, are we here not to understand our niche, not understand our, and we will die? But on the dying bed, we'll says, I wish I have done this. I wish I have spent time with these people. I wish I have actually shared my knowledge with others. That time is finished. While
So,
you are alive, you should do it.
this is a very interesting conversation, but due to time, tell me give me one, two tips on how to uncondition yourself.
To uncondition ourselves is to understand who you are, first of all. Unconditioning can be done in steps. It's about habits. You have an habit of brushing your teeth when you wake up in the morning. That was been habit instilled on you. Now, unconditioning. Somebody says to me, Sam, I have a very bad habit of not completing my workshops, or not completing my when I start a book, I go through with couple of chapters and then just say, it's enough. I'm not enjoying it now. I'm just going to leave it. Or I am going to buy a new software or a new course from online workshop. I started a workshop. It was good in the beginning, but after 2, 3 episodes, I feel like, oh, I better start something else. I'm jumping on something else. That's I used to do myself. I apply things. I say to people, walk the walk, talk the talk, and walk the walk. You can't just say talk, 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 talk. Talk is cheap. We talk the whole episode about talk. But if you're not going to implement what you are doing, it's not worthwhile doing it. So unconditioning happens in the steps, small steps. You can't jump, you can't run besides you start walking. When you have your grandchildren were little and they were started to walk and they fall down, did you say to them, no, don't worry, darling, you can't walk, it's okay, sit down? But you encourage them, correct? We encourage them, come on, start walking, come on, let's do this, let's do that. Because that's what's happening. What we do is, because we are being conditioned from our childhood, we reach to that pinnacle of the point where somebody says to us to change. It takes a big step for us to make a change in our life. If I say to you, Munira, now, because are you a righty or lefty?
Right.
Righty. So if I'll say to you, okay, Munira, you put your scarf from the right way to not right way. From tomorrow, you start putting the knot from the left side, left hand, instead of the right hand. It's going to be difficult from the beginning to start with, but you will have a habit of changing the way you do things from your left hand. Yeah. So what's going to happen? You know what's going to happen when you start doing things from your non-dominated hand? You have a spark in your brain, and your spark started to create a new neurons in your brain, and that started to create new activity in your brain. And you says, oh wow, he's starting with left hand now, I'm a righty too. I started going the left hand, then your sudden brain started making good connections in your started to brain circuitry, and your circuitry started to say, wow, there's something new coming, let's make it happen. then you start to think, wow, something is happening. Every day you start doing something on your left and non-dominated hand, and something started to happen in your body, and your body started to embed those new things, and you start to see the shift coming in your body and your thought process and in your cycle, and your unconditioned things that started to happen, and you started to notice, wow, I never noticed that before. I'm feeling really energized. I'm feeling really up to those things. I needed to do those things. And that's how you started to uncondition things, from doing things from non-dominated hands, and also start things small. You can't start saying, oh, I will just complete this everything in one go. It doesn't happen like that. Everything starts small, and that's the good incentive for you to start with something better.
Awesome. So take small steps. This is amazing, but take something that's uncomfortable, right? Uncomfortable action. And what I tell people is, every time you want to take an uncomfortable action and you want to step back, all you have to do is step under a cold shower.
Yes.
It's hard, especially in Chicago where it's cold, but you know what? I guarantee you that after some time, the cold shower becomes okay. It becomes okay in your body, and you are able to accept that. And so, take uncomfortable action, and the more you do, the better you become. So that's the same message that Sam and I are telling everybody. Sam, where do we find you?
You can find me on samdossa.com. Easy. And I'm giving away my emotional intelligence questionnaire, which is set of 10 questions, which gives you a score of where you are standing with your emotional intelligence. That's a gift to everybody who would like to come and check it out, my website, and that's where you can find me.
So why don't you just put the link in the show later, and then just take it from there, and that would be amazing. So thank you so much, Sam. It was amazing, and thank you so much for giving us so much insight, helping us realize that we are all people and we matter, and the fact that we have to take uncomfortable action to become who we are. But in all of this, we have to figure out who we are and why we are here, right? And understanding us will allow us to become the better versions of ourselves, so we can shine that light through us into somebody else. Thank you so much. If you liked this show, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Till next week, until we have a new guest.
Thank you for listening to this episode of
Have a
Munira's
wonderful
Musings
week,
with your
and we will
host,
see you
Munira
next week.
Zahabi.
Thank you.
If you enjoyed our show, please share and subscribe to this channel. And for more content, please join our Facebook group.